right, we are officially live, you guys. This is the Recruiting Live Show, and I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood. Thank you for joining us. I'm very excited about tonight's show, you guys, because every single week I get to come in here, feed into that next generation, the next up, the aspiring football players that want to take it to the next level. And there's a process to it, you guys. There's definitely a process to it. So whether you're joining us live or whether you're watching the recording of the Recruiting Live show, thank you for checking this out because it's going to be valuable. And for the athletes that really take advantage of what we're talking about, this is an opportunity for you guys to put tangible dollars in your pocket. So excited about tonight's show, you guys. And if you're joining us for the first time, once again, I'm host Terrence Wood. The whole show is designed to serve you, high school, junior college football players that want to go off and play at the next level. Obviously, the football season is upon us, and we've got some great information to share with you guys as well. So here is the lowdown. I am a former player myself, have spent my life, almost my entire life, you guys, centered around football. And now, after the last 16 years, really centered around helping the next generation get an opportunity to live their dreams, which is truly a labor of love for me and my team. Huge opportunity right now in sports, you guys. As student athletes, in my opinion, this is the best time ever to be a student athlete. I am a former player. As I said, I played at the University of Colorado, played in Canada, also played in the Arena Football League. The gentleman that you see on the left-hand side, you guys, that is my grandfather, Pro Football Hall of Famer. When I saw him walk across that stage and have that gold blazer placed upon his shoulders, I was done. I knew what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. Who is this for? Who is this for? Very important, you guys, that we're not wasting time. I don't want to waste your time. I'm sure you don't want to waste my time. And there's also another side to this. There's the side of the college recruiters, the ones that are deciding who to give the scholarship money to. So they don't want to waste their time either. So this is for the athletes that want to play at the college level. This is not for basketball players, for soccer players, for swimmers. You guys can probably all get something out of this, but this is designed, the Recruiting Live show is designed specifically, you guys, for high school and junior college football players that want to play at the next level. And as you guys see right here, the round table with college coaches deciding who they should go after, deciding who deserves the scholarship. Maybe it's a walk-on that's going to get bumped up to a scholarship offer. But this picture that you see here, this happens year-round, and it happens across the country. And we want them to be talking about you guys. We want them to be sitting down discussing you so that you guys can say that, hey, I came from the Before You Go Pro program, or, they pointed me in the right direction to help me get the scholarship I'm looking for. That's what we want. Here's another thing that some of you guys may want, and it would definitely be a huge blessing for us if any of you guys got a chance to live this truth. But we are so excited, you guys, and pumped up that we've had one of our own today get the word that he made the 53-man roster. Our very own Elijah Cook's long journey. And that's exactly why we do the Recruiting Live show, because not everybody's journey is the same. It's not always straightforward. But Elijah, I don't know if you're going to get to see this. I'm sure I'll talk to you later, but super pumped up that the rookie made the 53-man roster. So we're happy for him, Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, like I said, it's a journey, you guys. And if you've joined us before, or maybe caught one of the recordings of our recruiting live session, you may have seen this live before. This is actually Elijah's journey. So he started off far left at a small school in California called Atascadero High. I know none of you guys have probably heard of it, but it's in the coast of California. Only one Division I offer, you guys. Only one Division I offer, and very, very close to choosing a Division II school named Azusa Pacific that no longer exists. Actually had to talk him out of choosing to go to Azusa Pacific. Had the feeling like Nevada was coming. Sure enough, it did. And it's just another example, you guys, of how you only need one. You only need one. So he went on to be a star at the University of Nevada. His offensive coordinator left Nevada, went to San Jose State last year. He decided to roll with his OC, which was a wise decision. You guys are all individual contractors. So he didn't dislike Nevada. He loved Nevada, but he was thinking of an opportunity at the professional level. And as a wide receiver, you got to make sure you're getting the ball. So he didn't know what was going to go on with the new OC at Nevada. So he decided to run with his coach. It ran off and played good for him. As you guys see, after that free agent deal, and then showed out this training camp with the Jaguars, and now he's officially on the team. So you guys will see him, number 84. That is one of our before you go pro athletes. And at the end of the day, you guys, it's a blueprint. It's a blueprint. And we talked about this last week that, you have to be around someone that has the blueprint. You have to be at a school that has a blueprint with maybe a head coach that knows what he's doing. But if you guys have certain dreams and goals, then you got to be around somebody that knows how to get it. It's not just enough. Not with this. With some things, if I want to fix a light fixture, then I can go to YouTube and figure it out. With this is a little bit more competitive, a little bit more detailed. You're going to have highs and lows, and you're going to want somebody to talk to with the recruiting process. So at the end of the day, does whoever you're dealing with, whether it's with us or on your own, who has the blueprint that you're going to utilize to get to where you want to go? Now, once again, as I've illustrated, you guys, and we're going to work through the recruiting process this whole season. So for those of you, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching recorded, for those of you that are serious and hungry about making sure you have some options on the table, join us every week. Join us every week, take your notes, run it back, do what you got to do so that you can get some tangible dollars in your pocket. But right here, you got Stetson Bennett and you've got JT Daniels on the left. Both of these young men at one time were at the University of Georgia, but very, very different journey, you guys, to get there. Very, very different journey. And then, it's a perfect example of how you get there. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, the man on the right that took the long route is the one with 2 national championship trophies, and rings on his fingers, and got drafted in the 4th round and is currently in the NFL. While the other one probably, I don't know if he gets an NFL shot. I don't know what ends up happening to JT Daniels. But once again, 2 different players, 2 different journeys at the same location. So you may be an athlete on the West Coast and you want to go play at San Diego State. You want to go play at Fresno State. Maybe you're a kid down south. You want to go play at UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham. How are you going to get there? And does somebody have the blueprint to give to you? That's the whole thing. So at the end of the day, you guys, there's some pillars in the recruiting process. There are definitely some pillars in the recruiting process. And these are, you see 2 number 3s, GPA and social footprint. So, Coach Wood got through on in college and in school, but obviously, we shouldn't have two number 3s on the slide there. So bear with us. But 4 major pillars, you guys, okay, for you making sure that you're on track, for you making sure that you're in the right environment to go to the next level, to maybe take a hold or take a peek at somebody's blueprints that has already done it. So as far as the pillars, you guys, check this out. Number one is the right school. And I'm going to revisit this later on in this breakdown. But number one, you guys, is the right school. Okay. The reason why we put number one as the right school is not necessarily that it holds just more weight than the other ones, but typically, if you're at the right school and you're an athlete that has some talent, the rest can fall in place. If you're at the right school, then they have a track record. That's what I mean by being at the right school. They have a track record of getting guys to where you want to be. USC, I want to go play in the NFL. Well, USC is the right school. Ohio State is the right school. They have a track record. They know how to do it. Okay. So when I say the right school, that's what I'm talking about when I say the right school. You're an athlete that's watching this. Maybe you're a parent of an athlete that's watching this and you feel like, hey, I got the potential to maybe play at SMU, Southern Methodist. Maybe I've got the potential to play at D2 Adams State. Maybe I've got the potential to play at TCU, Texas Christian. But are you at a school that's done that before? That's maybe sent a kid to that school before, or a school similar? Okay, so right there is right school. Number two, we're talking film. Everybody's got to have film. I've talked to you guys in the past that the film is your audition tape. That's your mixtape. For some of you athletes that like the rap music, that's your mixtape. Okay, so you got to turn in something so that people can take you seriously and see what level that you can play at. Okay, then GPA, the minimum GPA is 2.3. 2.3 is the minimum to get a college football scholarship. And social footprint, when I say social footprint, then I'm talking about what you got going on your social media, your TikTok, and also what you got on your Instagram if you got a YouTube channel. And then I'm also talking about offline too, because social footprint can be offline. Maybe you're a student athlete, unfortunately, that's got a little misdemeanor accident going on. Or maybe you're a student athlete that's getting bad reviews from the coaches about how you handle yourself socially at school. So keep that in mind too. So when we talk about recruiting, you guys, those are the four pillars. 4 pillars. If you're killing those things, then you'll be in good shape. Everything's going to be based off of a timeline. Here's our recruiting timeline. We know where you're at based off of the timeline. And then this is something that you want to keep in mind when you think of the timeline. Because right here, you guys, we've got some dates coming up soon. December 20th is actually the early signing period. Literally, if you are a senior right now, or maybe you're a junior college athlete that's prepared, you're able to go to the next level, you're done after this football season, then December 20th, you guys, is right around the corner. What are we talking about? 4 months? We're basically in September. So chances are, if you're signing with a big time program, a Michigan, like I said, a Tennessee, you probably already know by now that they're looking at you, because they forecasted for 4 months from now, 2 years ago. So we want to be proactive. That's what this is all about. It doesn't mean you can't get there. It doesn't mean it won't happen. It just means we know where we are right now on the timeline. So take a look at this. D1 football. This is specifically D1. So Ramel, I don't know if you're still with us, but I got a text from one of our superstars that he asked, what does it mean high to mid FCS? What does that mean? So that's a great question. The reason why he's asking that, you guys, is because he just got his film review from us. So when you join before you go pro, we work with student athletes, once again, high school, junior college, and we want to get you to college. You get a film review, a film evaluation. We told him in the film evaluation that he was high to mid FCS, basically high D2. That was where he came in at. That was where we thought his level of talent was, a level that we can play possibly early if he plays at that level. So Ramel, if you're watching this, buddy, or if you're catching the recording, when I say mid to high FCS, now there's Division I, and this is good, fly on the wall stuff for you guys to hear, because chances are one of you guys has this question too, and this also plays into the timeline, so you guys can keep that in mind. But when we say high FCS, now Division One has two levels to it. It's not just Division One, Division Two, Division Three, NAI. Division One is split up into two levels. The FBS, these are the teams that you see on national TV, your USCs, your Cal Berkeleys, your Michigans, your Ohio States, down south, your Florida States. These are the teams that are the blue bloods, the ones that you see doing the NIL deals, all of that. That's FBS. Those are the teams that can play in bowl games. FCS is still Division One, Ramel, but it's a little bit of a level lower. If you're an older person watching this, this is Division One AA that we're talking about back in the day. So FCS, still very, very high level of football. Trey Lance, who just got traded to the Cowboys, he played FCS ball. He played at a very high level FCS school, a school called North Dakota State. Some of the HBCUs, some of you guys might be considering HBCUs, like where Dion came from, Jackson State, a school like Howard, Morgan State. We've got a quarterback at Morgan State. Those are FCS level schools. On the West Coast, Sacramento State, Northern Arizona, Big Sky Conference. Those are FCS level schools. So very high level of football, Ramel, but a little bit level lower than some of the Power 5 and Group 5 conferences. Now, that's a good question because it rolls us into this picture right here. Now, I talked to you guys about the timeline, and I'm going to get a sip of tea here. I talked to you guys about everything being based off of timelines. Well, when it comes to the timeline, the big boys eat first. The big boys eat first. So, you know, when you talk about December 20th and you see the D1 early signing period, those are going to be the biggest schools that are most likely signing kids at that time. The JC kids can sign at that time. And then D1, D2, the regular signing period, D3, NAI, kicks off in February. First Wednesday in February, goes all the way till August, you guys. Goes all the way till August. We've had D1 kids sign after the early period and the regular period. So, you know, sometimes we look in other people's lane and we get a little nervous because we see they got 4 scholarships and we don't got anything. And we know that December 20th is coming up, the early signing period. You may not be an athlete that's going to sign at the early signing period. But if you come to the Recruiting Live show, you can ask those questions. You can get some support. And you can also get some guidance to sign a little later. And it's going to be okay. It doesn't matter. You're still going to be in training camp at the same time. You're still going to be in training camp at the same time. So you don't have to worry. Remember, all athletes have different journeys. We got that illustration right here. So one thing I always want you to remember, you guys are stepping it up. You guys are stepping it up. It's not high score JC anymore. This is highly competitive at the college level. Even if you're playing D2, D3, they're giving you money at AI. It's business. So all you want is one chance. One chance is all you need from the great Jesse Owens, track star. Now, one thing that we do every Recruiting Live show is we go through a little bit of the recruiting process, and we'll be going step by step because this is going to be a journey. We're going to have the Recruiting Live show until February, you guys, until that regular signing period. But one thing we're always going to do is highlight one of our own. We're going to highlight one of our own. We've got one of our special ones tonight, and this is Hassan Mahassan. They call him the Missile, and this is a very, very special one right here. Not only have I known this young man for a very, very long time, actually, I've known his uncle since I was a little boy, and we were playing Little League football. So I've known Hassan coming up through the ranks. I've known the family for a very long time. But this is a very unique recruiting situation. And remember when I said to you guys that everybody's an individual contractor to a certain extent? You guys are playing a team sport, but you're not all going to have the same opportunities. You know, you may be at a high school in Texas right now. You may be in Cali, in Arizona, in Alabama, where the great Coach Foss is, Georgia, you know, you may have had the same type of season that your friend had. Maybe you guys went to a state championship, but you guys most likely aren't going to have the same opportunities after that. So you got to think like an individual contractor. You got to think to a certain extent for yourself sometimes. So this is a very unique situation, you guys, because this young man was highly recruited. He's not in high school anymore. He's actually in junior college, and he was highly recruited out of high school. Unfortunately, had a very bad knee injury, which diminished some of his recruiting options, and he ended up at San Diego State. But I want to give you a glimpse. So he's a year out of high school. Last year, he was at San Diego State. This year, he's at junior college, and I'm going to get into his recruiting situation, how he needs to be thinking about recruiting, and hopefully this can serve you guys. But here to give you a glimpse of Hassan's talent, this was him his senior year coming out of high school. So as you can see, very talented young man. Actually, player of the year, his junior year in the San Francisco Bay Area. Trending towards Pac-12, Power 5 level school, gets the knee injury and ends up at San Diego State. So I want to get into his situation, you guys, because once again, his situation is real time. This young man is about to play in his first junior college football game this upcoming weekend. Right here, you can see that he had entered portal, was highly recruited for a second, and then was high up on San Diego State's recruiting board. So when he went into the portal, you guys, the timing wasn't the best. It wasn't the best, and we didn't have much time to see how many suitors would come after him before he had to make a decision. Because the second semester he got cut right after, or I want to say going into spring ball, maybe going into spring ball. And it was like right around the recruiting process or right after spring ball, maybe. And it wasn't a good time where we didn't have much time to try to pitch him to other schools before he had to make a decision on what to do next. So at first, you guys, we were, of course, thinking that he's a big time talent. You guys just saw the video. If you didn't get to see his talent, run this back. But we're thinking he's going to go Big 5, Power 5, or maybe a Group of 5 conference school. Unfortunately, the timing wasn't right, where he probably could have went to an FCS school, a Division I AA school, and still played Division I ball, but the rules have changed, you guys, as far as the transfer portal. A year ago, 2 years ago, you can go in the transfer portal as much as you want to. Now you only get one shot with that baby. So when he said he wanted to leave San Diego State, which was the right choice, I'm not going to get into reasons why, but it was the right choice. When Hassan said he wanted to leave San Diego State, and then no Power 5 or Group of 5 conference schools came running to him with an offer right away, then it wouldn't have been wise for him to go to an FCS school. Now, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, he could go to Sacramento State, he could go to Northern Arizona and then play well there and then bounce back up to a Power 5 school. He could kind of use the FCS school, the Division I AA for us old heads. He could use that as leverage. He could use that as the junior college. But with the new transfer portal rules, he's stuck there. Once he transfers to an FCS level school, he's stuck there. So him believing in himself and believing that he's maybe a Power 5 or a Group of 5 level athlete, he didn't want to get stuck at an FCS school or a Division II school. So the right choice for him was actually to go to to go to junior college. So he decided to go to San Francisco City College, and it's a dominant junior college football program, has been for years. And, luckily for him, right in his backyard, California is one of the meccas for junior college. Because he was at a California state school, San Diego State, all of his classes transferred, and he can get out of junior college after one season. So he's going to burn 1 year of eligibility. He didn't burn a year of eligibility at San Diego State because he was a redshirt. He redshirted. He was still rehabbing off the knee injury. They didn't want to be patient with him with the knee injury, so he had to leave. And now he only has to stay at San Francisco City College 1 year, and he can go off back to the major level of college football. So what he wants to do is bet on himself. That's what this is. This is a bet on myself play, and he's betting that he's going to have a dynamite free agent year at San Francisco City College and then go off to a school that's maybe even bigger than the school that he was at, maybe even bigger than San Diego State. And between our connections and between the connections that Coach Collins has that you see holding up the trophy right there, Hassan's going to be just fine. He's going to be just fine, So as far as our check down, remember what we said? Sometimes just going to the right school can check a lot of boxes, you guys, can check a lot of boxes. Once again, what's the right school, Coach Wood? Have they had anybody play at the school that you want to play at the college that you want to play at in the last 5 years, in the last 3 years? If the answer is no, then that might not be the right school. And not being at the right school doesn't mean deal breaker. That doesn't mean deal breaker. It just means you might need extra support. It means you might have to be extra proactive to get what you want. Okay. So you guys run this back. If you're joining us live and you're not catching the whole thing, definitely run this back because I want you guys to get the scholarship offers you deserve. A lot of you guys are coming from practice. Or maybe you're watching a recording of this from practice or after a game. You guys are putting in the work on the field. Coach is focused on wins. He doesn't want losses. He's focused on wins. He's not necessarily focused on your recruiting right now. If somebody calls him, he may say, yeah, take Tommy Jones. He may say, yeah, take Jermaine Smith. But he's not going to – he doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the time to proactively get involved with recruiting like some of you young men do need. So with Hassan's case, he had to work backwards. He was already at a Division I school. He gets injured. He doesn't have the options he wants. So keep in mind, I want you guys to be fly on the wall. I want you guys to learn from this too, because some of you guys might be in high school sitting with the same situation 4 months from now. 6 months from now. He was sitting in this situation coming out of a major college football program where the timeline was off. He didn't have the offers that he wanted at the time he wanted. And he said, now I can go to a level lower than I believe I should play at, or I can buy some time. And sometimes junior college, you guys, prep school, it can buy you a little time. So he went to the school, but once again, we want to go to what? The right school. So after that, you guys, the film evaluation is needed. A film evaluation is needed. In his case, a film evaluation isn't needed as much because once again, he was a high recruit coming out of high school. And a lot of people know his situation. They're really with him. They're trying to see how the knee bounces back. Now, because they know how he looks and they know that when he's right, he looks at a high level. So If you're not a known commodity, I got to hear your demo tape. Now, if you're a known commodity, but you went away for a little while, now you came back, maybe it's not as urgent. So coaches will watch the film, but for him, it's not so much an evaluation of can he play football. We know he can play football. We knew that when he was in Pop Warner. It's an evaluation of how does he look with that knee? Does he still have his speed? Does he still have his agility? And his quickness. So there's things I want you guys to keep in mind. There's things I want you to keep in mind. Take a look at this list for a second while I take a sip of tea. Things I want you to keep in mind. Because sometimes we lose sight, you guys, of these things. And when we lose sight, and this is the whole reason, you guys, this is a major reason why we want to have the College Football Recruiting Live Show, is because we want to help control emotions too. We don't want you guys to lose sight of the fact that we have to be patient. We don't want you to lose sight of the fact that this is a journey. We don't want you to lose sight of the fact of my situation isn't going to look like my boy's situation. So the reason why I want to throw this up is because these are things you have to keep in mind when it comes to recruiting. If I was trying to get to Hollywood, there would be things that I'd have to keep in mind. Well, in our industry, the football recruiting industry, and Coach Foss knows this, Coach Jay knows this, these are things that we might not be aware of if we're a parent, or things we may forget if we're an athlete. But number one is there's still plenty of time. There's still plenty of time. Some of you guys may feel like you're a little late with your recruiting process. There is still plenty of time as long as we get on it. Number two, colleges are focused on their first game. So I know some of you guys, you drill these coaches with DMs. If you have their cell phone number, with text, emails, phone calls, if you have their cell, they're not going to be worried about you right now. Unless they've already built a relationship with you and they've been talking to you and checking in with you weekly, which is a great sign, by the way, if they're doing that. But if they're not, like if you're trying to cold get in contact and build a relationship with the coach, especially if we're talking D1 level, you guys, right now they have to focus on game one. Last week was week 0. Game one for all these schools is coming up this week. Some of them maybe game 2, but they have to focus on kicking off the season the right way. Why? Because they won't have a job to recruit you if they don't kick off the season the right way. And that's part of the reason also you guys want to continue to tap into this content, because we're going to be talking about how you need to move with recruiting as the season goes along, because it goes through phases. Once again, it's a timeline. Right now, they're not as focused on you guys. Maybe the GA is, the grad assistant. So maybe that's who we're contacting. But the coaches will be going out to high school games, junior college, and will be very focused on you guys soon. So that's the route that Hassan said. He said, you know what? I don't have the schools that I want to have. I already know how the recruiting process works. All these people want to do is see if my knee is okay. I'm going to go to a school where they can see if my knee is okay, and where they know in practice even I'm playing against top-notch competition. Some of the other things you guys want to keep in mind, you want to run in your own lane. Once again, you looking at your friend's recruiting situation does nothing for you, absolutely nothing for you. The only time that it can help you out a little bit is if maybe they're hot on your friend and they're talking to you. So, there was, when I was coming out of high school, I went to the University of Colorado, for those that don't know, but there was a time the University of Hawaii was hot on me. They offered me, and they were talking to my best friend. I seriously considered wanting to go to college with my best friend. But once Colorado came into play and I really felt like that was the place for me, then things kind of died out with Hawaii, my best friend. But sometimes maybe a friend can help out your situation, but outside of that, you guys, there's not really much you looking at your friend is going to do for you. Now, one thing, like I said, that we're going to do is, as we go through the journey of the season, things change with recruiting. Tactics change, timelines change, theories change, So one thing you see here is this was last year. This was last year's record in the Missouri Valley Conference. Ramel, we were talking FCS. These are FCS schools. These are Division I schools, but they're a little bit lower, level lower. Here's a perfect example. Western Illinois, 0-8. Don't you think Western Illinois was definitely open to looking for talent and to maybe watching some film on some talent? This is a dynamic that we definitely employ with trying to get our athletes that first offer under their belt. Is sometimes you got to go to the bottom dwellers, the schools that are struggling a little bit, but we don't know that right now. So don't worry. There's teams always looking for talent, you guys. Always, especially once they see that their season isn't going so well. Because keep in mind, once I see my season isn't going so well, I also know the area of my team, the position group in my team that I need to focus on, that I need to strengthen up, that I need to recruit for. So, right now, a coach may tell us, if we're bombarding them right now, is hey, we're good. We're good. We're already recruiting 2 cornerbacks, and we think we're set. But come the end of the season, he may have a whole different story. Okay? So patience. On one hand, there's a term, patiently impatient. It doesn't mean we don't do nothing. It doesn't mean that, you shouldn't join before you go pro. You definitely should join before you go pro. But it means that there's some time. There's some time for us to see how some things pan out too. And there's definitely some time to be strategic. This is a sniper shot. A sniper shot. You're not going to have, if you're already at the point where you don't have any interest or offers, chances are you're probably not going to go from 0 to 10, but you may go from 0 to 3. You may go from 0 to 4 or 5. But we got to get it going. So hopefully that's helping you guys out. Once again, our great Hassan, he's at San Francisco City College, but very, very unique situation, you guys. Young man was playing ball, went into the portal, D1 player, not getting what he wanted. Say, instead of going D1 AA FCS or going D2, I'm going to bet on myself, because he would have been locked into the portal. He would have had to stay at that school until he graduated, and then if he had great film, he could go up. But now he's at a junior college where he can go up in the next 4 months to another major university. So there's some good stuff for you. If you are not aware, you guys, once again, Before You Go Pro is just more than content. We're more than just a YouTube channel. We are working with athletes across the country. Very, very exclusive program, you guys. We call them 10%ers. And my coaches know this. If we talk to a football program, we only want 10% of the athletes on that football program, the serious young men. So we do have a recruiting program. If you do feel underexposed, or you do feel like there's something off, or maybe I do have D2 offers, but I feel like I'm a D1 athlete, then you definitely want to check out our recruiting program. I'll make sure that we put the link in there for you guys, and our college prospects page. So our college prospects page is where we list all of the recruits that are in our program. Now, the special thing about, and I'm grabbing this link for you guys, the special thing about our college prospects page is that if you guys are watching this recorded, you're probably going to have to copy and paste that, but that is the link to check out our recruiting program. The special thing about our college prospects page, you guys, is we only accept 10 athletes per position. So it breaks down to between 100 to 120 athletes, 10 quarterbacks, 10 running backs, 10 DBs. We already have athletes that are slated to be on the initial version of this. And then we're going to keep adding athletes. So some of these athletes, some of our college prospects page positions are already dwindling. but we want to keep it exclusive. Everybody is vetted, and that's how the college recruiters that we work with know that we're putting forth a great product, that they know we've got kids that are ready to take the scholarship offer and that aren't going to mess up things when they get there. So definitely you guys want to be a part of the college prospects page. And like I said, initial version coming out this week, all positions, 10 players at each position. Another thing that you guys definitely need to be aware of, and this is so special. We're very excited about this, but we are doing a custom cleats giveaway, you guys. I know a lot of you young football players are into the custom cleat deal. We've got an amazing artist. He's a designer. He designs all kinds of shoes, but he's great with cleats. Matt Bustamante, excuse me, he's ready to go. And this is going to be a cool deal because, whoever wins, it's a raffle. Whoever wins the raffle is literally going to be connected with Matt and get to design their own cleats with someone who knows what they're doing. So, if there is a design, if there's a name, maybe you know what college you're going to, you want to put that on your cleats. Those are cool things that you can do, and it's going to be totally free, and you're going to be looking clean this season. Something to kick off the season the right way. So once again, custom cleats giveaway, you guys. A matter of fact, I want to make sure that you guys got the link for that too. Now, if anybody has any questions, any comments, concerns about their recruiting situation, you guys please feel free to put any questions in the chat. I know that earlier Ramel was asking about the FCS levels, but if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat, because this really is you guys' time. Now, if you're checking out the recording of this, and here is the link, you guys, for the custom cleats. So you got the link for our recruiting program, and you got the link for the custom cleats giveaway. Gates are open for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, gates are closed. We're going to be choosing our winner on the Locker Room Show. The Locker Room Show takes place every Thursday, but we'll be choosing our winner on the Locker Room Show, and then we'll be connecting you with Matt so he can build your cleats and make sure you look fly. We also have a second place prize, which is great. Gift card to Dick's Sporting Goods, $75. You get what you want, your outfit, your sweatsuit, you get your mouthpiece, whatever you want. And then also Battle Sports. So the third runner-up will get a Battle Sports gift card too. So once again, you guys make sure that you are in within the next 2 weeks for the custom cleats giveaway. And both of those links, you guys, are in the chat right now. The first one is for our recruiting program, and the second one is for the custom cleats giveaway. Okay, so very excited about that. If you have not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Locker Room Show is up on Thursday. That's where we bring in somebody from the football entertainment industry to share their story, to share their advice, to give back to you guys. So I appreciate you guys joining us. Unless there are any comments, any questions, concerns, we are going to be done with this edition of the Recruiting Live Show. But once again, I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood. We are here, myself, my team. We've been doing this for years. We work with athletes across the country. This is a very critical time, not just on the field, you guys, but to make sure that you got your classes straight, and that you got your core courses. We're going to be talking SAT, ACT. A lot of you guys think you don't need that. I'll tell you this. I just talked to a college coach about that. Some of you guys do. Some of you guys don't, but some of you guys do. So do you know which bucket you fall into? Some of you guys don't. So we're going to keep that in mind. Once again, we went over the great Hassan Mahassan. Check him out. The Missile. Check him out on Instagram. I think it's the Missile 3. He's going to be playing junior college football and then going off to a big time school. We're going to be helping them do that. So if you guys are just joining us live, you didn't catch this, then check out the recording, because we gave some game as far as recruiting and making sure that you guys get to the next level. Unless anybody has any comments, questions, concerns, if you're just joining us, I'm Coach Wood checking off, but check out the links. We've got our recruiting program, the Before You Go Pro recruiting program that you guys need to check out. And then also we're doing a custom cleats giveaway. We got someone that was trained by the shoe doctor himself, Matt Bustamante, and we're doing a custom cleats giveaway. So check out the comment section of the lot of this show, because we've got the links for both of those, you guys. But we went through a whole recruiting breakdown, and we're going to do this every single Tuesday until the regular sign-in period is over. And then we're going to take a little break, because we're going to need a little break after that. But it is our goal, my team's goal, to get as many players to college this year as we possibly can. So if you're not already with us, definitely click on those links. Check us out with Before You Go Pro. If you are with us, then you already know we get down. We'll be talking. College prospects page is coming out, and you guys are about to have some options on the table, some college football recruiting options. So please tell your friends, please tell others, tell your teammates. But we will be back next Tuesday to serve you guys. Unless there are any recruiting comments, we are out of here, you guys, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Love you. See you next week. Hey, if you're playing this weekend, kick some butt, stay healthy, make plays, and we'll see you next week. Okay, you guys, have a good one.